Hi, how are you? I hope you're well. My name is Wanyiha Jean Dut, and I'm doing a series on the altars we were fighting. And so far, if you've been following all the parts, I named them in parts. I named these videos in part. Perhaps you've come now to this place where, we've entered Canada, and we've met the people there who now I recognized as the giants, okay? And so we reached in the last video where my husband had come in and, had sort of now, made some things very clear to all of us who want him, who want him in their lives, yeah? And so at the same time, I realized that this man is not even talking about us, okay? But we're in close proximity. We are talking, just like if there's one thing that God gave us is talk, yeah? So we talk a lot, and like whenever now we are close to each other, it's like we have an understanding, yeah? So that has always been there, a very strong bond, ability to talk, ability to feel compassion for each other. It's like we feel each other's pain, yeah? So if there's somebody else to be felt pain for, they come second, okay? So it's like we put each other first when it comes to pain. It's like we feel each other's pain, so us first, yeah? But I have no delusions. I've seen everything. I've discovered now this beautiful woman, and I know that this is a possibility, yeah? And even though I'm scared to ask, I ask anyway. And we talk about the people, in our lives, and perhaps, things may change like that. And I'm like, whatever happens, please make sure that the kids are safe, yeah? Because I already let go, okay? So I'm like, just make sure the kids are taken care of, especially Tamwa. I would feel so bad if like he felt, even in this family, he was struggling, yeah? Sometimes I would yell at him, I'm not understanding him, yeah? He went through a lot. So I'm like, the baby is a survivor. Michael is grown. This one, I'm like, and he's not like a weak person. It's just that he's very easily attacked, okay? And so I have seen the attack. It's coming from both the daughter and the mom, okay? So I'm like, if these people took over, and now she had to watch the kids because my husband is, in the States. God, only you can watch my kids for me, yeah? Because I cannot take them where I'm going. It's a tough situation, yeah? And so me and my husband had a very funny thing happening at that time, yeah? I would dream, and when I wake up from my dream, I'm in shock. He wakes up too, and when I tell him my dream, it's like, it's a continuation, like where my dream stops, there's a continuation from him. Like he also had a similar dream, okay? And so like we discussed these things, we are like, wow. Now, when I was hanging around with my Kenyan family, the lady had a very good knowledge, spiritual knowledge of the place, and she used to work in the church, and she would tell me this was a very, this place had a very huge spiritual movement in days past, yeah? And I'm thinking, perhaps this is why this is happening. We are dreaming more, like we are so spiritually sharp. When I go out, I meet with people, we are talking, some are so sweet, some like so many people are drawn to me, and 5 minutes talk will make you understand these people are so broken. And I'm seeing this land, like it's so different, like, and abroad people take their disabled people out, yeah? So I see all these conditions, people are coming to my job with all these conditions. I'm like, wow, this is a different place, yeah? And so I see even African, migrant workers now working with, the families that have disabled people. And I'm like, wow, this is a different level, okay? And the whole time, yeah, I'm also now working with this girl's friend. And, she talks about things, and it's like she's pushing me, yeah, into about talking about marriage, my marriage especially. But to do that, she has to talk about her marriage. And I learned that her husband is also in Africa. So it's like all of us are in the same situation. Our people, our spouses have been in Africa, and we are struggling over here, yeah? And so now I'm seeing the other side of being, abroad. And so, but I realized this girl has a nice personality, very strong and stable. The kind of person you'd want to be your friend, okay? And like this other personality, which is this, me and this girl, And so I realized, even like a couple near us keeps coming around us, because I realized this girl the lady of the family is also attracted to now us wake up people, yeah. So she's trying to show me things, how to settle in this place, you know, but the way she's doing it, and she's younger than me, I'm like, nope. You know. And so like I feel like a lot of things are difficult. I'm like, what does this girl even know? Her kid is like 2 years, yeah. Mine is 18. I have so much experience. Even though she's doing parenting well, I feel like you know, she's out of line most of the time, yeah. But I don't know it, but all of us, yeah, are fighting kind of the same altars, yeah. So some challenges here and there. And so like this one now, who is with her husband, is trying a lot, yeah, to help out. She stays around, she comes around, you know, and they were my husband's friends, yeah. So I'm like, okay, you know, I'm surrounded by people and I feel so powerless, yeah. But now this girl, you know, at work is now the one I spend most of my days with, yeah, because I work 8 to 11, she works 7:30 a.m. to 3. So there's a mid shift that we're just together, and we began to work so well, yeah. But now being with her was not easy, you know, because she's pushing, it's like she wants to find information about my marriage. She will ask, how is your marriage? You know, it's like she wants to talk about the brokenness of marriage. And I decided, yeah, I will not be dishonest. I will not act like I'm in charge or we have it so good. Perhaps she can even see like the color. I've lost color in my face. I'm looking gray. And every time after every shift, I would have all these revelations. When I comb my hair the next day, it's gray. Like I have so much gray. I'm aging. Guys, I'm aging as I'm in this place. It's not even a year. I'm aging. I'm fading. And let me tell you, at some point, I used to now share a word on Facebook. I even formed the group Broken to Whole, yeah? One time I'm doing a video and I noticed my mouth is on the side. Has gone to the side like this. And I'm like, guy, I'm having a stroke. Husband, I'm having a stroke. It was stressful. It was a very tough environment to be in, okay? And now my helpers were a bit on the side, yeah? Now, something that happened, yeah? I'm actually thinking it's either before hubby visited or before the next visit, yeah? There happened to be something we call in these circles retaliation, okay? Like when you win a battle, there will be a retaliation, okay? So on one of these evenings, hubby is talking with the kids, yeah? He called and they start talking and he's like, give the phone to mom. I need to talk to her. And he tells me, go to the room and close the door, okay? So I go and he tells me, imagine I've been in an accident, yeah? Now where he was working, he used to bike to work, yeah? It was like the culture in the place. He was working with people who are very health conscious, okay? And he tells me, as I'm going back to, you know, home, and I'm taking the corner to, you know, now the estate, I was hit by a car, okay? It hit the bike and I was, you know, thrown off. And now he's showing me all these scratches. My God, this guy is damaged and I can't even talk. I just burst into tears. I'm like, guy, have you gone to hospital? Because, and I'm telling him this story, some people get hit and they go home and sleep and then die. You could be having some internal damage, yeah? And he's like, no, I'm fine. But the bike is like in shreds. And I'm like, no, you have to go to hospital, okay? So this bond, yeah, like I feel so much pain. Let me tell you, do you know I cried the whole time until I slept? My kids were downstairs. I slept, fam. Okay, so they took care of their night routine. We used to pray before we go to sleep and read a bit. They took care of their own selves, as the Black Americans say. So, as I sleep, yeah, I wake up from, you know, like I feel like I'm being woken up 5 o'clock, yeah. And as soon as I wake up, yeah, and I wake up, I remember and start crying. And I hear God's voice, yeah. And I have to tell you, at this point, it's like now God was back, okay. I told you, as soon as we got the visas, I felt like God had moved away from me. But one thing that was constant is that he kept saying, I have gone ahead of you to make the crooked path straight. So even in the hard times, I would feel that scripture come back up, okay? And so I hear God's voice telling me, go into your phone, send $100 to Kim, okay? Now Kim from my bakery, yeah, my baker. And I send, and as soon as I send, I noticed that the exchange rate is 7,880. And I noticed, wow, because now I'm so sharp, yeah? This is a similar period like we've been here. You know, it's like, 7 years we've been away. On the 8th year we come, and it's like, like, I don't know what the last 8 was, but it was a double 8, yeah, and 0. And so I send this money to Kim, and I tell him, Kim, please pray for us, okay? And I sleep again. I don't know where I get the sleep, but at that point I prayed. I was like, God, please protect my husband, and I'm even scared to say husband because I was removed a long time ago. So I go back to sleep, yeah. And I wake up around 7 or 8, yeah. I don't think it was a school day. And so when I wake up, I go to my phone and I see Kim says, Mom, I've received the money and I will pray for you. In actual fact, I was planning to go into a fast, okay? So there are people God brings for you and they will serve you faithfully without even asking for a thing. But this guy was really shocked, yeah? And I came to realize this was some kind of a sacrifice or incentive, yeah? For Kim now to pray. So like when he got this money, he was like, definitely, Mom, I'll go in and pray for you, okay?
So guys, I forgot to add that when Kim went into prayer, and he came up and I asked him what God had shared with him. He said that this wasn't even about my husband. It was the things that we had escaped, including they wanted me to be mad, to go mad, so I don't come over to Canada.
And so we continue doing life. I'm still working next to my nemesis. She's pushing me, okay? And in one of those pushes, I realized, I remember the dream I had where a woman is showing me her body and she's telling me, this is my husband. And she's pulling him like, show her your body. We have similar bodies and all that, yeah? And my husband is holding a child, just looking so forlorn, like I don't want to be in this mess, yeah? And there were other kids surrounding them. So I'm like, I can't even talk, okay? So now it's like I'm surrounded, okay? So I remember that and I'm like, God, what are you telling me? But I don't say a thing, okay? Now, in that week, this lady comes and insists that we have to go for swimming, okay? I told you she's very authoritative, okay? So I'm like, yeah, I'm down forever. And it seems like she wants to make peace or something. Yeah. And so when we went for swimming, she had come wearing a mini skirt, okay? And I noticed, it's like, yeah, I noticed, girl, you're beautiful. And I'm even telling her you should be wearing such things even more, okay? And now as we went to the swimming pool, I went somewhere up because it is indoor swimming in Canada. I went somewhere up, and as I'm looking down, because I left her with the kids, I noticed it's like she keeps looking at me. And I'm like, what? I know this girl doesn't even like me, so what is this connection? I see she's adjusting, her trunks and, just, like wanting me to be aware, okay? And she's surrounded by all these kids. And I'm like, why are you not watching the kids? The kids, they might drown or something. And I'm thinking, should I go downstairs? But now here, I was engaged by a very old lady who had brought her grandson, okay? We are talking. And, I'm just now observing like, wow, I don't know why she's looking at me, but the whole time I had noticed this day, this mini was extra mini, okay? And in the following days, she would come like whatever extremity she did, if she was talking to my husband and things didn't go well, it's like she would come to check like what is happening on this side, yeah? And so I noticed she's really pushing my buttons, but she would be regretful. In a way, I even felt sorry for her because I suddenly noticed this girl is not okay. She's withdrawing. She's getting stressed, so she would come and say things like, oh, when we came here, we were so religious, our church is like this. And she used to talk to me about, in their church, it is the man who chooses a woman to marry, yeah? So once a man identifies the woman, he will go to the pastor, and the pastor now will organize and call the lady, do you agree to marry this person? After that, there will be a wedding, okay? And in this church, polygamy is allowed, okay? And so now I realized in the first days, yeah, it's like she was talking about all these polygamy stories, and it's like I was supposed to understand, you know. And now I realize she was playing nice then, because she was telling me there's even this man who wants to marry me, even though now it's like she's pursuing divorce. There's this man who wants to marry me, and I'm telling him only the wife can, you know, approach me about that, you know, being a second wife. And I'm like, you're not opposed, because you're so beautiful, you can get a man of your own. Why marry as a second wife? Oh, it's allowed in my church, okay? I didn't know it, but I was being groomed into accepting this. And me, I know us, you know, we can't do this, yeah? Me, I cannot be the first wife. After all, I'm not even there, okay? But she collects now data and realizes, this man might want me now to just be the main wife, and this one goes. So she would say things like, you know, she used to say, I can't marry again. I didn't even want kids. I didn't even want this one in front of her son. You know, just so much shade, yeah? And I would note all these things like, I don't like this. I don't like the kind of conversation happening in front of the kids. Oh my God, I wish these people would disappear. Now she changed her tune when she could come around me, yeah? And yes, I guess it was before her became and went, yeah? So she's saying, you know, I need to adjust my mind, because now when I get married, men love to know there's a child out of this union, okay? So I think I'll just get one baby girl. I'm like, wow, you're getting married? Are you done with your divorce proceedings? No, but if I get married, I want, you know, a baby girl. Oh, okay. And you know, with technology nowadays, there's a way you can design around that, okay? So I was just thinking this, her own observations, but I realized it's like she's indicating something, yeah? So if she has to get married again, she'll have to get a baby in this union, even though she doesn't like babies, never wanted even this one, okay? But now at work, it's like now I'm being, you know, being put into, you know, that thought, yeah? Like this is being normalized. Divorce is being normalized. I'm being told my kids are big enough. And it's like she pushes me to talk about my marriage. And I'm like, you know, just be clever. Let her talk more, okay? And I'm like, wow, yeah. And now she's intimate, like she keeps mentioning my husband and this girl. It's like she's now working on behalf of her friend, yeah? Like, what's up? What's happening, yeah? And I'm acting so clueless. I was clearly clueless. You can't pretend. So, you know, but I realized she's really pushing me. And one time I'm like, come out with it, yeah? You're pushing me a lot about this. What is happening? What do you know? Did this lady have an affair with my husband? Tell me, I'm a big girl. I can take it. And she tells me, no, this girl could never. She's so moral. And the church they go to would never allow such a thing, yeah? So it would be up to the man to propose. I'm like, so what are you trying to tell me? I don't get it. And she tells me, your husband is so arrogant. I'm like, who? Do you even know him? No, I just know because in this family, he's been so rude to this girl's mom. And I'm like, and why is she so obsessed with him? She's always like, so Peter. If she comes to my house, call Peter, tell him we are here. And I had gotten into the habit of telling her, no, you call him. You guys are friends even before I was here. Why don't you call him? No, we can't call him. I was angry when he left. He didn't tell us, okay? So you leaving and separating from some people will expose their bitterness, okay? But she still continues to come around us. And I'm like, but this lady, this guy has been helping. Even I know, okay? Every time, sometimes would be on Skype, he's being called away. He goes away to help. And now I had already accepted. I was always eager to now meet this new family in St. John's. Feel like they're my family, yeah? Whenever he's coming home, this lady would send like, you know, some candy or something, you know. I was assuming these people would be like nice, you know. But she's like, yeah, he was rude to her. I don't know what. And the behavior I have seen, I see how I would speak out of turn too, okay? So I'm like, no, these people can be a bit much, yeah? So if he was rude, I understand. And it's like I'm coming to his defense and he's telling me, you know, me, some secrets I'll just take to the grave. It's like now, if you don't listen, That's your problem, but your husband is bad, bad, bad. And I'm like, no, now this one is my people. I cannot side with other people, okay? So this is the father of my kid, but I'm getting so much information, okay? And so I'm like, no, no, no. And I'm so upset at this girl saying that, yeah? So I'm like, if these people are, are speaking out of turn, it's like they've been pushing him, and now I see a pattern. It's like now whenever they talk, because they can access him, they either come to check my reaction to see what the progress is, because I'll give you a spoiler alert of what I came to understand later. It's how they thought he would speak, and say, I want now this lady to take over the house and my kids, and you go away, okay? And so it's like that didn't happen. She did everything right. She was spending her money on us, she helped, a lot. She was good to the kids, yeah? So what happened? What happened? And now I become the enemy, okay? And an enemy of your enemy is your enemy. So even this girl, I'm thinking, I'm sure I said that wrong. I'm thinking we can form some kind of friendship because I really admire her. Seems to be an enemy, and I can see which side she's on. And so, like, whenever I'm hanging now with my friends, yeah, who met even this family through me, and this family that, are becoming enemies now, would, bring them in, because this woman, the mother, used to bring chicken, yeah, and now she wants to even recruit them, bringing chicken for them. And I'm like, where is this chicken coming from? Me, I don't like free things. They might just lead you into trouble. And I don't know why I had that foreknowledge, okay? And so she brought once to this family, and I could see, like, there's a problem, yeah? So as we go on, I'm like even telling me I don't want this meat, and it's like, just take so that she feels appreciated. I'm like, no, I really don't want this meat, and now I've stayed enough to, even when I'm going to Costco, I'm not asking people for rides. There always used to be a person willing to take me, but I'm like, no, I'm separating myself. I'm taking a cab to Costco, buying stuff, just doing my thing, yeah, the way I used to. And now I'm feeling freer. People are just dispersing, apart from now people who I'm connected to directly, okay? And even these ones, I'm feeling like you guys should, go, because I really don't want advice on how to raise kids, or how to settle here, or how to do what. Do you guys have food? I'm kind of not loving that anymore. I've seen what I've seen. I'm not liking it, okay? And so this lady, as she's pushing me, yeah, I realize, okay, so now the problem is that my husband has not been responsive, yeah? And so now I am in another chapter where it's like whatever information I'm getting, God is talking to me at night. Now, I don't remember the dreams, but I remember one of them was where my husband is, riding a horse in this place, yeah, in a place that, is like a tourist attraction, yeah. And he says to this woman, put a crown on my queen. And it's this green crown, yeah. But as she goes to put it on me, I see a green snake coiled on the crown. And I'm like, no, scared, so scared, what's happening, And later now, one of the mornings, because most times I was working 11 to 8, yeah? And in this time, my kids had gotten used to the place they're walking alone. I used to walk them to school, but now they're walking with Mike, who there's a place they reach, and he takes a corner, yeah? He diverts and he goes to take a bus to his school, which is a bit further, and they walk the rest of the way. Now it so turned out, yeah, that we were being monitored the whole time. And this girl would come to my area, and as she's coming, she would see my kids walking alone to school, yeah, not knowing that they already, like at the point she's meeting them, Mike already, diverted. And so this girl at work is telling me that I'm a bad mom, she's hearing I'm a bad mom. And I'm like, why? Is it because I'm broke? I'll work so hard and I'll establish. I don't know why people are not being patient with me. And she's like, no, so-and-so is a mama bear. So when she says that, it's because you're not meeting her standards. Okay, all right. So, yeah, I didn't know it, but she meets my kids. So anyway, after my husband is gone, there came a time I'm doing the closing shift, yeah? And as I'm waiting for my cab, I see her drop her father. He used to work in the same establishment, but a different company. I see her drop her father, who I hadn't been officially introduced to, because they never took us to their home. They were just coming to my home with whatever time, yeah. So I see this man staring at me. I don't know if she said to him, that is Peter's wife. I don't know, but he stares and is walking slowly as he's looking at me. And I'm like, why? You can say hi if you want. But he goes into the establishment, yeah? And now I'm seeing now this girl goes ahead to turn the car and stays there. She can see, you know, as the man disappears. So once he disappears, now she comes. And she's like, come into the car. Come, I'll drive you home. And I'm like, no, I got a cab. And she's like, no, just cancel it. Come, I'll take you home. And I'm like, okay, fine. So once I went into the car, I'm like, you guys, how come you used to come to my house anytime? But now, after Peter has come, it's like you guys stay away, you know? I'm genuinely curious. And she's like, you know, Peter, you know, it's like even the time we came to visit, he wasn't even in the house. It's like he was showing us, you know, some, you know, contempt. That was so contemptuous and we didn't like it. And I'm like, you guys don't know this guy. This guy is totally obsessed with his kids, you know, and now this is the only time he has with them. I don't think he would have left the basketball court. And after all, you play basketball, right? I mean, you love these things. And these are the things you guys do over here. So why would you feel bad? And I tell her, just come in. And now, but anyway, she comes, says hi to the kids. Why did she end up now staying until 3? Talking. And now she's talking, telling me things about now she's talking over me like, I know your husband, you know, and he was looking for a job in this place. I don't know why he ended up, you know, going to Orlando. And I'm like, but he and I discussed and we thought it was the best thing to do, because she was saying he should be here, you know, helping you guys. And I'm like, I've started working. We're helping each other. You start small, right? No, he shouldn't have gone there, because if he had stayed here, the kids would start earning. And I had realized this thing really troubles her. The fact that you have to stay 10 months to start earning for the kids to start getting government help, yeah? And I'm like, it's okay, you know, time will pass. But she's really insistent. And she talks for long about how, you know, he should have stayed. And, you know, and it's like she's actually very insecure that this guy has gone off to Orlando. And I realize, so she might be thinking there are other girls there who will take him, okay? So, I'm no danger. Those people over there are, okay? So I'm really amused. And she's telling me he got these jobs, I don't know where, but he, now outside the country, but he didn't take them. He only took this Orlando job. And I'm like, this guy actually asked me. And because I pray a lot, you know, we were able to decide. And I noticed in the times that these people would be around me, whenever my kids would ask me something, like Mike would say, I'm so scared, I don't know if they'll take me in the senior basketball team, I would find myself saying, you know, godly things, like speaking over him. And I'm like, you're the son of a prayerful woman. Everything you need will be given unto you, okay? Everything here is yours to receive. And so they would be so curious and sometimes even triggered, yeah? And I noticed now this girl's behavior is like the mom. Like whenever we'd be around the table and they're talking about, you know, vitamins, you know, just health things. And I would say like, you know, there are vitamins for women and stuff. You can get that. Peter takes vitamins for men. And they're like, no, how do you know? And I'm like, guy, this is my husband. I should know, right? And they're like showing ownership, showing just so much ownership, yeah? And they could do that. They were bullies, okay? And they bullied me correctly. And let me tell you, I noticed all my weaknesses and all the things that were made me realize how I was carrying myself, and I would be, you know, so unsavory to the people I came around, yeah? You know, in this time, I'm dreaming and God is showing me that he is for me, yeah? But now hubby comes in December, and so there are families that we are tighter now. We've been doing family things, doing dinners, doing just friendly stuff together. But now this family is a bit on the side. Now when he comes, this older lady is calling him, oh, I need, I don't know what for my car. He advises, you know. He's still being very nice, yeah? but he's not as involved, and they also like just inching in, but they can see it's not like it used to be. Yeah, like whenever, like she's wanting to compromise just so that she can, you know, talk to him, but she's only doing this when he's here. Okay, other times she's, you know, standoffish. She's like, oh, you made us so angry when you left without telling us. Okay. Yeah, so anyway, we spend now the Christmas, and now my husband goes in January 9th. Okay. No, 9th or 10th, yeah. And I remember now forwarding him a message I had received from a friend, and it said, it was Isaiah 42:9. See, the former things have passed, and new things I declare before they come to be. I announce them through my prophets, yeah. I don't even know if he responded or not. I just felt like the need to share with him, yeah. And so he leaves, okay. And now I enter into a place where I'm dreaming a lot, okay. And now this girl is revealed to me in a dream. Now, I told you the way I noticed that she would wear flat shoes, just be nicely covered. And I was seeing the shoes a lot, and I wondered, what is it about her shoes? And now one time, yeah, I'm about to go to work at 11. And I escort my kids, and when I come back, it's like I'm in tears, okay? And at this point, the kids had discovered the bus used to pass through behind our house, yeah? So I would just take them to the bus stop and come back. Now I noticed that in this season, God was making me pray as soon as I come into the house, yeah? So I would pray and really pour tears, okay? So I'm like, what is happening? So on this one time, I escort my kids, came cleaned a bit, and I'm feeling so sleepy. So I went upstairs. I said I will sleep for an hour, okay? Because my job is not up to 11, yeah. It's not. I went in and slept, yeah. And as I wake up, I'm dreaming. When I fell asleep, I dreamed that my husband is with a woman, and when I come in and find them together, I really cry, yeah. And now I wake up now from crying, and I see God is showing me this vision, okay, immediately. And I see this woman, but I noticed just the shoes. And you remember the voice God was telling me, observe. And so I observe, and I'm reminded over time, hubby had come home. Yeah, I think it's 2013. And he took me out for dinner. And for some reason, I was now looking for heels to wear because I like wearing heels, okay? And he said, you know, you don't need to wear heels to look beautiful. Some people just, you know, some ladies just wear low shoes, and they look good. And I'm like, who is some ladies, you know? So a huge hint, but you know, I can't pursue it. I don't know what he's talking about. And I'm like, I've always worn heels. So I feel like, oh my God, even my style, he doesn't like anymore, okay? And so, yeah, I'm brought back to this, and I'm looking at these heels, and it's like God is telling me this was the girl in question who wears flat shoes, but yeah, now you know, now you've met her, okay? And so I'm like shocked, and I'm like feeling pain. And you know, as I'm listening to this, God now reminds me of the chilies I was given, yeah? Now, these people met in 2010, but these chilies were to enforce because they felt like nothing is happening. 2010, and then this guy comes home in 2011. It's like now the magic is not working. So in 2012, end of 2012 and 2013, I'm being given chilies. Twice I was given chilies, yeah? And so God is showing me the chilies. Now, you know, God like speaks a word. And I think there's a scriptures that says God speaks once and confirms it, and twice he confirms it through a prophet. I think that is how it goes. So he shows me the chili, yeah, and I understand. And he's telling me now, when you were given the chilies, now this happened, and I understand. Even though I didn't know much, it was just this year that it was revealed. You know, I learned what that is, yeah, the spells that go into such things, yeah. And so I'm yet to find out, but now I see this, and I'm like, oh my God. So this is what happened. It's like now I was being replaced, yeah, exchanged, but in the spiritual, okay? So let me tell you, when the witches even go to see Mganga, yeah, like they go to a witch doctor, because they are witches, people who pay for witchcraft to be done are witches, actually, yeah? So when they pay for that and a spell is cast on you, say like a separation spell that I understand now what it is, yeah. A lot comes with it, yeah. Like they will even just take something of yours and bury it, yeah. So whatever this is, whatever, if it's marriage, it is buried, it is dead and buried, okay. And so because the spiritual world does not operate with a vacuum, now somebody else is brought to distract this person, yeah. So why in 7 years, why in these 2 years hasn't this man responded, okay? So now the magic is fortified and I'm being given chilies. Now I had come from another altar, and that is why I shared the dream, I think in part 4 or 5, yeah, where I say that, you know, I was telling somebody about this altar, and now they told me I'm being treated by the local witch. And I'm like, there's no witch here. Only now, the next scene, I'm walking with my husband and I'm trying to reach for these leather dresses. And when I'm taken in to change, I see these are not the same dresses. But as this lady goes away, I am beaten, yeah? And let me tell you, for a long time, I wasn't functioning okay back at home, yeah? So now God is telling me this is what happened. This is the one who was brought. And now I understand this girl really looked like me. But now let me tell you, the devil is so stupid, yeah? Now this person that they were bringing that used to wear hair like this, you know, when I was young, that is how I was, yeah? I'm no longer like that. I don't wear my, in fact, I came in looking so bad in St. John's. It was one of the things I used to wonder, why didn't I make myself more beautiful? Why didn't I do hair that would last for months, you know? So why didn't I come with my dreadlocks, you know? And I'm like, man, I came here so flat-footed and I was found so flat-footed, okay? So God tells me this, yeah? And I'm like, oh my God, so this is the one who is to be married. And now I'm so scared for my kids, yeah? And I cry so bitterly. And now I have to wake up and go get ready for work. So I'm in the shower and God tells me, I will fight for you, okay? And he reminds me of that Isaiah 41:10. I am your God, okay? Do not fear, for I am your God. I will uphold you with my righteous hand. God was showing me, I am your God. I am with you in this thing, yeah? So do not fear, okay? And so, you know, I feel better, but I've really cried. You know, I'm just beat, eh? And so you know, I get ready for work. Now, I will take you back because this is what I do. Forgive me, I'm working on it, yeah? When this girl came and stayed until 3, she told me, oh, I usually see your boys walking alone to school. And I'm like, no, they don't walk alone. They walk with Mike until the point he diverts. So where you see them, this road was called Thorburn Road. Where you see them is now where they cross the lights to school, yeah? So they walk just half of the distance. And she gets very shocked. And she's like, oh, I thought they walk alone. I was saying, this woman is a bad mother. And now I understand why I'm being called a bad mother at work, yeah? So I'm like, no, even so-and-so was telling me I'm a bad mother. And she says, leave that one alone. So now talking against the friend who is fighting for her. This other friend who was, who actually had to leave work, she used to say the nastiest things about her. And that lady would leave her son with her to watch, yeah? To babysit, and she would accept gracefully, yeah, no problem, I'll take care of your kids. And she would say the worst things. This woman doesn't know how to manage. She's always leaving this kid alone. I don't know what, so all these things, yeah. And I know this looks ugly. This has an explanation, okay? And so that is the time she revealed this. And so I know now who the person is. And so I prepare and go for work. More dreams would follow. But this now would just, now that she's revealed, yeah, now it's like now God was showing me what he's about to do, okay? And so I will leave that here and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.